you're talking about getting promoted, you know, over and over and over again, like, so through that kind of becomes, or, you know, I'm imagining as a person going through that, you know, kind of, that's a heavy thing too, like getting promoted over and over in something that you're not really familiar with. And so growing in this way, kind of stepping into the discomfort, you know, the out of your comfort zone and stuff, and how that all helps you grow. But also, how did it affect you or not affect you, I guess, in terms of like that old version kind of yanking?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
I do know
every time you're trying to level up, that fucking, that pull, like, you know?
Yeah, so you can imagine I was pretty good at my job because of my past in the heart that I had. So some of the biggest struggles was innovating a path to a more trauma-informed scenario. So most of the people that we got came from a correctional background, not a therapeutic background. And so this is kind of their stepping stone to correctional officer. Well, the mode of a correctional officer and a therapeutic kind of interventionist is far between. One is compliance in force and beat you into submission, and one is, hey, what's going on with you?
Yeah.
Why do you think that? Why do you think that you made that decision? So one is like it's totally different. So I was really, really good at my job. What I struggled with was creating a culture that people modeled the same kind of thing. So it was very difficult to instill what I had inside of another person because their background and everything else. So yeah, it was very interesting. Very interesting. It had its leadership struggles. It did. When it came to the kids, I put away their files. I didn't read them. I let them develop a relationship, a connection with me first. I'd read them some later date on the future after I got to know them at a personal level, and after they already felt like securely attached to me, and we were like mentor-mentee kind of thing. Then I'd read their file, and so it's just a practice that I did.
That's awesome.
Other leaders that read the files first, they wouldn't give them a chance. There's some you just read and you just want to puke in your mouth, sort of thing. And so I think it gave me a leg up, honestly.
Yeah, and I mean that's also, I mean that way that you did that, I really like that too. With the, you know, not because it's that concept of getting I'm not sure what the right word is here either, but like a predisposition based off of what you're reading.
Yeah.
And then that kind of puts again, not really sure the term that I'm looking for. It's a great day for not thinking of words.
Oh, you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Yeah, give them a ghost of a chance, like
right,
because they're not going to have a chance if you read that thing. There's just personal bias. You know, society as a whole says just line them up and just kill them all. Like,
yeah, no, and that's the term, right? There's no bias there because you're meeting them as a fellow human and just you know, not giving yourself any kind of a bias whatsoever, and then when it comes down to it, you know, later on, sure, you probably do need to know the story to some degree in order to help.
You know, it's required. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would just give it enough time as I possibly could.
Yeah, no, that's
it's funny. Like everybody else would be juicy, like running to the files. What did this one do? What did this one do? Like juice and the gossip. And I'm like, oh, it's not quite good.
That's such a messed up part of our fucking society, I think, is just that's a typical thing. Everybody wants, you know, the gossip, the how fucked up is this one versus that one, like, and that's coming from somebody when I was younger. literally would search out the most fucked up like movies just to see like how twisted like people in society could get. You know what I mean? And I stopped doing that after a while just because I was like, I don't care to. There was two movies in particular. One was Salo, and the other one was a Serbian film, and both of those were about put me at my limit of, yeah, I don't want to go down this fucking rabbit hole anymore. You know what? I kind of want to see the opposite and believe the opposite of humanity at this point. Because it's almost easier to, it's not almost, it is easier to go down that dark road, that, all the negative, all the bad. It's so much harder to go down the good,
It is. And, another thing is like, you could look at me and like, I was a menace to society, and I was stealing cars and breaking in things and breaking into cash registers and, all that stupid stuff. But if, somebody had a little bit of perspective, and that's what I got from the treatment center is you would probably act like him if your mother pimped you out too, and you had all of these guys, rubbing up on you. And so there's just a whole lot of compassion for empathy for pain and stuff that you get from experiencing that. At least you could. I'm not saying everybody does. Some of it's just, some of those pretty harsh, pretty harsh people in there. But
yeah, no, but you're right. Like people are so quick to judge, but they have no idea of the environments and are even so easy to think that they wouldn't do the things, if put in that environment. And there's a poem by Thich Nhat Hanh. I think the name of it's called "Call Me by My True Names," and it's a beautiful poem that he wrote. But the point of it is really that whole point is, if you grew up in Somalia, you were probably going to end up being a Somalian pirate, right?
Yeah.
That's just how. So to say that you wouldn't do that, that's probably not likely. Like to say that you wouldn't do something because you grew up in the environment, like that's just how things happen sometimes. And to your point and to your story, like your story is a beautiful example of how you can grow up in that environment and still get out of it and make an amazing fucking life.
Yeah. And I don't know what the differentiator is quite exactly, because my siblings, we're pretty messed up. You can imagine, even the females, have done long prison time. I mean, they've pulled people out of the cars and beat the crap out of them. They've DUI'd into houses and like you just name it, like long prison time, and same with my brothers, and so I don't know quite what the differentiator is, and I know that not everybody experiences like restoration. So I'm extremely thankful that was the case for me. And I talk to my older brother, and it seems like that's going to be the case for him too, because he's experiencing restoration too. And but I don't know what it takes or what causes somebody not to go down that path. But it's very sad, to think of not being some sort of redemption or redeemed in some way. Kind of sad,
It is. I mean, you have to have sympathy for those people, and that's, I think, unfortunately, most people again in society want to condemn versus, just have some level of sympathy. I mean, you don't have to condone the things, but Like I used this story a few years back. I saw somewhere, I can't remember, but it was some father in Ohio who shot and killed his 3 sons. And my immediate reaction was like furiousness, right? Like any father would be, right?
Right.
But something told me to like look into the story as much as I didn't want to, because I didn't want to get upset about everything. And as I looked into the story some and watched body cam footage from the cops when they went to the scene and everything else, what ended up happening was, you know, again, not condoning what was done, but more sympathetic to what the fuck was going on in his head.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
what was his life like up to that point that would make somebody do something like that?
Yeah.
And to be able to just have that, you know, not negative reaction towards it, because honestly, that could be anybody, you know, if you got to that point.
Yeah.
You, again, whatever the situation and circumstances were that drove it to that,
Yeah.
as unfortunate as it is, like it's not out of the realm of possibility for anybody, because choices were made and choices have, you know, the actions and the consequences, and it's just, it, like you said, it's sad. It's
It is.
it's very unfortunate that some people just can't break and that's what it is, breaking a loop. You know?
Yeah. A big enough, I look at my life and it's probably really, really big pattern interrupts that shook me to the core. And it was enough to like, I'm getting off the roundabout. But then, you know, I look at other people's lives and I'm like, man, I would have woke up on that one. I would have woke up. It's like, what do you got to do? You got to kill somebody? Like,
Right. That or kill yourself. Like you know, I know myself when I was at rock bottom, I was like, I fuck this, you know.
Yeah.
I have to make a change. I have to make a change, or I'm not going to exist anymore. And I don't know which is harder at this point, but you know, something tells me that not existing anymore isn't as fun.
Sure. Sure.
You know, even though it's not fun right now, I think that was in one of my wake ups, at least, with addiction. I had to just stop with the cocaine because it was,
Yeah.
I and it kind of mirrors a little bit in a way what you were saying with the speed, because it made me really good at things.
Sure. Oh yeah. Meth made me really good until it didn't.
Right. Right. Like, holy shit, I'm really fucking good at doing stuff. But then those fucking lows are just awful.
Mine was, you know, I started losing touch with reality because that prolonged fasting and not eating and then staying up for days and days and days and wouldn't even really drink water. Like, you know what I mean? So you're just like, you're operating on just, your body's just eating itself. And, you know, I started getting a lot of paranoid delusions. People were trying to kill me. The cops were after me. There was days that my whole day looked like running from something that was chasing me, that was not chasing me for hours.
All in your head.
All in my head.
All in your head. Which, again, leads to the point of how powerful our fucking minds is.
Yeah.
Like, this is all happening in your fucking head. And yeah, that's, none of it's got to do anything with reality. But man, it's Yeah, it's a wild fucking ride. And then, as you know, once you take control of that fucking space, control of your mind, like anything's possible. And man, is it a world of difference, you know?
It is. It is. There's I look at my life now, and it's intentional. And I think somebody like me has to have like a rigid routine. Um, so um, so there's like some sort of calm and comfort in it. So that's why the Warriors way like really spoke to me as far as having the core four and the stack and the meditation stuff like that. And so my life, if somebody will look in, they might say, well, he's kind of rigid and he's routine. But if that's what it takes to keep somebody like me grounded and not to go off somewhere, then it is what it is. So I've accepted a life that is kind of rigid and structured, and to the point that it keeps me very very grounded, and so it works. It works for me.
And that works for you, and that's what matters for sure.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you would agree with this too, is that most of those people that are like, oh, I can't do a rigid routine, are already doing a fucking rigid routine of bullshit. Right? Like I don't fucking get enough sleep properly. My routine of drinking coffee nonstop all day and smoking cigarettes all fucking day and bitching about life all fucking day. That's all a routine. I go to work every day. I fucking drink a pot of coffee. I smoke my cigarettes. I bitch about everything. I go home and I fucking have some beers and I fucking pass out. That's your fucking rigid routine.
You're right. You're absolutely right. So I just replaced and swapped all those with and my life has been a period of shedding, shedding detrimental habits and stuff like that. And you can imagine, nicotine was really tough, man. Nicotine was really tough, and even caffeine was really tough. And I'm not saying that people have to quit caffeine, but if you're still, your nervous system cannot calm down, and you're constantly in a hurry and a rush, and all of these different things, and things are not flowing. Maybe you should consider it. And anyways, it caused me to be very grounded and go slow. We are such in a hurry for every single thing. And it's like we don't have no pause, no time to breathe, no time to meditate. Our lives are just like bombarded with distractions. And it's like, gosh, we need to be intentional about creating the right kind of environment and space,
Yeah, that's been one of the biggest things for me as well, and what I love to show people, as you know, just that slowing down and just seeing the beauty in everything. Like even on a shitty day, like working in construction, working in a fucking steel mill, there's still beauty in all of that if you can find it. I like seeing how plants and stuff are still growing in like all this nasty environment, that as a testament to like, it doesn't fucking matter how nasty a place is.
Yeah.
There's still foliage. Like life still happens. It doesn't fucking matter. So there's beauty everywhere. You just got to actually look for it.
Yeah. Yeah. There's something I read recently, and our minds, when they get stuck in these loops and different things, initially it's much like a computer, where you pull up information or you ask your brain to give certain data, tell me all the reasons why I'm a piece of shit. Okay. Because, and we can play this game if we want. Right. We can switch and ask our brain to produce something different, because it's just literally at our beck and call on which way we want to go. So you talk about like mental fortitude and capacity to see a situation and to reframe it, that works in a narrative that better suits your life, that doesn't put you in victimization. It doesn't put you in some sort of scarcity. Even my mindset is, even if the story is not true, even if it benefits you and gets you out of that, it's probably a good thing. So, I mean, even if you got to tell yourself something else, like literally, is it an empowering story or is it one that's going to defeat you? Like, what are you telling your brain to do? You know?
Right. That's because, again, as you're saying, the brain is your tool.
Yeah.
But we are just so used to letting it run amok like a fucking toddler without a leash on.
That's what it is. Yeah.
And until you learn to reel that shit back in and say, no, this is what we're going to do now. Like you're saying, live intentionally. Like these are the things that I want. This is what we're going to do about it. And, you know, oh, you want to think about that? Well, that's great. But that's not important right now. Like, or that's something from the past and that's not how we do things anymore. Right.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. That's what, go ahead.
Huh?
Go ahead. Sorry. Didn't mean to cut you off.
No, it's just instead of how we typically run with subconsciously just everything and that rigid routine of nonsense instead of intentionality, as you said.
Yeah, so true. I was, as you were talking, I was thinking about the one of the initial Warrior Way frames from way back in the beginning. So, like, I don't know, like 8 years ago. It comes from a book by this lady. I forget her name, but anyways, she was from Victorville, California, and she was going through like deep depression, and she started practicing what she called the work. And this is where kind of do the work came in. This is the work that they were talking about, was ask yourself 4 simple questions. Is this true? And how do you absolutely know this is true? And does this story and narrative, how do you feel when you tell yourself this? And what would you be if you were willing to release that story? So very simple framework. Yeah. And if that's one thing that I think that like stuck with me, that would be another key to my growth, is when I face something and I tell myself something and it makes me feel bad, I just go, is that true? Is that really true? Like, is that like, and so really, really questioning some of the inner narrative in the dialogue. Because, a lot of us are living with accusatory narrative. And some of it is due to some shame-based stuff in some stuff in the past that we may have done, and we may feel dirty or whatever because of it. And so that it's kind of lingering. And so the accusatory stuff is very strong in a lot of people. And so I don't think that growth or healing would happen unless we begin to confront those narratives,
Absolutely. Yeah, you have to confront things, in order to. I've kind of learned that maybe you not necessarily have to confront everything if you're willing to just step into that new state of being. But if you have something that's continuously coming up, then maybe it's something that you need to really sit with and face and figure out where it's coming from, and then just put it to bed,
Yeah.
So
that's good.
But yeah, no, that's a great point for sure with the, hey, is this actually fucking true? I mean, to your point with the, running from things that are in your mind, obviously none of this is true, right? This is all just what my head is telling me. Like, there's not actually, people behind me chasing me. But,
I was once holding on to like a stop sign because I convinced myself that gravity was I was going to be sucked up. So I'm like sitting there like holding on to all my mind, and I'm just watching like people like drive by and they're looking at me like all strange. I was holding on for dear life, brother, because my mind.
Yeah, and if it can convince us of that, then we can, we can use it to convince us of anything that's one of my favorite points to make to people too, is like, if you've ever been to rock bottom, you do realize that everything has an equal and opposite. So what is your opposite of rock bottom, and why do you think you can't fucking be there?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know?
It's good. I love that.
You know, as far as, you know, not to speak for you, but you seem to be in a great fucking place now. So I don't know if you're at the opposite point of where your rock bottom was, or still on the path there, because, you know, it's a never ending path, but
Sure.
obviously a lot better off than where everything was. So
Yeah, I mean, I remarried. I got a lot of bonus kids. I moved across the United States and started working from home, and just really totally different life. There's a lot of pause, a lot of reflection, a lot of gratitude. So I would say that, yeah, it's pretty good.
definitely on the opposite end of the spectrum.
Yeah,
For sure.
eliminate all the hurry out of your life, man. I'm reading that book right now, and yeah, if anybody want to take a tidbit home with you, is see how you can eliminate and do the things that really matter, and see what things that you can take out and eliminate here, hurry, and find moments and space for pause and reflection and journaling, meditation,
Absolutely.
those sort of things. Like, it's my religion. I mean, I keep that thing every morning. I feel empowered too, man. I feel empowered. Like after I get back from the gym, like doing that whole core 4 routine, man, I feel empowered.
That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
It's definitely better than the opposite, obviously.
Yes. You know what my opposite was? So when I was pounding vodka, I mean, I would pound the whole freaking big ass one, like half a gallon in like a day. Some
Yeah.
in my worst state, and I'd wake up and then just grab it. Like, so there wasn't like, you know, in my time off, which was 3 days off, like it was just like drunk. Like,
Yeah.
and then even when I went back to work, I had to curb all the shakes by swigging a little here and there. So I was never ever really sober.
Well, I think it's it might have been Bill Cosby or some comedian that made their whole joke, like big joke, was you work all week long at a job that you hate, and then you go and you fucking celebrate by drinking your whole fucking weekend, and then what did that accomplish? Like, you fucking feel like shit the next day because you're hungover, and then next thing you know it, you're back at fucking work where you don't want to fucking be anyway. So
over again.
Yeah, you celebrated getting away from the thing that you hate by making yourself feel okay for a short period of time, and then feel even shittier the next fucking day. Like, what the hell kind of celebrating is that? Like, not to, you know, put anybody down that likes to have a drink. I like to have a drink every now and then. Not like I used to, obviously. By my weird celebration or thing that I like, little trophy that I had on the wall for a period of time was in the military. Is like, I'm going to drink 100 beers this weekend. Like, why does that sound like a good idea? And why am I celebrating the fact that I was able to drink 100 fucking beers in a weekend? Like, I still feel a sense of pride about that in a sick way, but
that's pretty epic, I gotta say.
yeah. And the fact that I didn't die, I guess, you know, so from alcohol poisoning.
Yeah. That's the funny thing about my alcohol addiction, and it was a progressive decline. So as I started to heal, and then the inner draw to it started to fade. And so it was very weird, because most people in AA or whatever, they will tell you it's progressive and it gets worse and worse and worse and worse. But if you're dealing with the underlying source behind it, that is the causation, and you begin to heal, then the desire and the need for it goes down and down and down. So it's literally like decrease, 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 decrease. And then I looked up one day, I'm like, why don't I even drink anymore? I just stopped drinking.
Well, yeah, no, that's one of the cool things about changing shit, right?
Yeah.
Is something that I noticed is if I include something good, then one of the bad things, and this is I think a method I can't remember that I saw from somebody else, but if you just add a good thing to your routine,
Yeah.
eventually one of the bad things is just going to drop away. And it's such a simple way to change up your whole life and routine,
Yeah.
you know, in order to have the things that you want. Like, well, if I drink every fucking weekend, then I don't get things done on the weekend, and I want these fucking things done. So, maybe I'll just drink one night and then the next night I won't, so that I can do things the next day. Just small little changes.
They've actually proven that. So in the study of addiction and recovery, it's a book. They found this drunk at the YMCA, and he would come in with the boys, and he would shoot, and he was actually pretty good even as a drunk. The director was like, "Hey, if you show up sober, I'll let you coach the boys." And he's like, "Okay, no wrong." He comes in, he's all tore up and he's all drunk, and he's all, "Look, I told you to show up sober. I'm going to give you one more shot. Now, go back on this day. If you show up sober, then I'm going to let you coach the boys." And so he showed up sober, started coaching the boys. They started giving more days, started showing up sober, and you're going to just give him a purpose and a reason for living. And he just like threw the alcohol away and totally transformed his life. And it's just one habit that was worth fighting for, just worth like me being sober for, that transforms like small habit. Atomic Habits goes into that, and Tony Robbins goes into that. But it's a powerful principle.
Absolutely. Yeah, and it doesn't have to be that fucking big. Mm-hmm. Literally, it'd be like, I'm just going to take a multivitamin every day, because of that compound effect. You just, once one thing, turn that into a habit, then you're like, all right, well, I'm going to drink.
How much water that I drink. I think that exactly. When you start drinking a lot of water, it's like, I'm taking care of myself. And then you're like, maybe I should like see how much protein I'm taking. Right. You're like taking in the protein. You're like, it's crazy.
Right. What's next? Just like the negative begets the negative, the positive begets the positive. It
does.
It's weird how that works. I don't know.
That's good.
Yeah. So, well, it's been an awesome conversation for sure. I appreciate all your insights and sharing your story. And
absolutely, it's my pleasure. My pleasure, man. And thank you for the opportunity, and I appreciate it. And hope somebody got something beneficial from it.
Yeah, for sure. If anybody wants to reach out to you, how can they?
Yeah, I'm live and active on Facebook. I live there. I spend a couple hours there every single day. So if you want to hit me up on Facebook, I'm in my messenger all the time. So Tim Holloway, Facebook, you'll see this face here. And connect with me there. And I'll love to send people like free resources and books and stuff. And if they're into spiritual formation and stuff, I got a lot of resources for you.
I hear you, man. Well, it was again wonderful to have a conversation, and we'll definitely have to do it again for sure, because I know we both have so much that we can talk about on this subject, but
I do.
So thank you, sir.
Awesome, brother. Thank you.